It started with a woman who didn't exist. In July 2025, Nanjing social networks filled with whispers about a mysterious sister Hong, a woman who met men in secret, recorded everything, and vanished into the web. But when police traced the source, they didn't find her. They found a man, a 38-year-old technician who built an entire identity out of filters, chat logs, and deep-faked warmth, turning deception into performance and privacy into content. By the time the truth surfaced, hundreds had been recorded, millions had watched, and no one knew what was real anymore. Tonight, we open file number 031, the Sister Hong scandal, the woman who never existed. Every deception begins with a profile. In the spring of 2023, a new account appeared on several social apps in Nanjing. The name was simple, Hong Ji. Sister Hong. Her bio read like comfort, warm, understanding, discreet. The profile photo showed a woman in her late 30s, soft-featured, slightly blurred as if taken from an old phone. The image wasn't stolen, it was generated. Behind that digital smile was a man named Zhao, a technician who understood how faces were built from pixels. He used voice modulation, filters, and slow typing responses to create intimacy that felt real. Each chat began the same way, a compliment, a confession, then an invitation. Those who met her offline believed they'd found privacy. Instead, they entered a performance in his small apartment. Jiao arranged hidden cameras behind photo frames and speakers. What he called art projects were recordings, hundreds of them. He kept logs of conversations, timestamps. Even the fruit and vegetables that visitors brought as tokens of thanks, he never asked for money. Control was the only currency he wanted. To outsiders, Sister Hong became folklore, a mystery woman who accepted produce instead of payment. But to investigators later, she was a mask, a mirror reflecting a man's craving for power disguised as affection. In every message he rehearsed empathy, in every recording he erased it. The persona lived online for 2 years before anyone questioned if she was real. By then, hundreds had believed, and dozens had been filmed. The mask didn't stop at conversation. It evolved into surveillance. In his apartment, Jiao built what investigators later called a domestic studio, a single-room setup of microphones, concealed cameras, and network drives labeled only by dates. He said it was research, but every file carried a name, a chat log, and a folder marked fruits. Visitors thought they were entering privacy. They were stepping into a broadcast. The hidden devices captured hours of footage, small talk, laughter, silence, not the act itself, but the illusion of connection. He edited each clip like a documentary, trimming pauses, enhancing audio, sometimes adding captions that turned real people into characters. He shared samples in closed servers under the title Confessions of Sister Hong. Members reposted, reacted, and speculated about the identity of the mysterious woman who never took money. The content spread fast, bouncing between encrypted groups and mirror links. No explicit images appeared on public sites, yet the suggestion alone fed curiosity. By mid-2025, fragments reached short-form platforms, stripped of context, reshaped as memes. What began as a hidden archive became a viral language of humiliation, a game of decoding who was behind the mask. When one victim recognized his apartment wallpaper in a clip, the illusion shattered. He filed the first report. The digital trail led back through proxy networks to a single router in Nanjing. Police seized over 300 gigabytes of recordings, names, chats, timestamps, each a digital ghost of trust betrayed. Zhao told interrogators he only wanted to see how far people believed in kindness online. Secrets leak the same way data does, one fragment at a time. In June 2025, a short clip began spreading through private message threads across Nanjing. It showed a blurred figure speaking softly behind a red curtain. The caption read, "Sister Hong returns." For most viewers, it was a curiosity. For one, it was recognition. The man who had filed the first complaint saw his own reflection on the screen. Within hours, he brought the file to local police. Investigators followed the metadata, an IP address buried under layers of proxy servers that all looped back to the same apartment complex. A midnight search revealed hard drives, tripods, and rudders humming in the dark. What they found wasn't a hacker's lab, but a stage set for empathy-turned-experiment. Hundreds of videos cataloged, each numbered, each paired with chat transcripts. The folders formed a diary of deceit. News outlets broke the story the next morning. Man posing as Sister Hong, arrested for digital voyeurism. Chinese social platforms flooded with outrage, not only at the crime, but at themselves for believing the illusion. Hashtags trended, accounts vanished. Memes tried to turn horror into humor for a few days. The internet felt like a courtroom, everyone demanding justice. No one sure whom to blame, Zhao confessed quickly, calling his project social observation. He told officers he wanted to prove that loneliness could be engineered. In the chaos that followed, victims' names were scrubbed from reports. The videos erased from public view, yet fragments survived, screenshots, reposts, rumors. The interrogation room was small, windowless, almost gentle in its silence. Zhao sat in front of a single camera, the same way he once sat before his own. On the table lay a drive marked fruits. Evidence turned into confession. Investigators asked him why. He spoke calmly, describing his work as emotional research, insisting no one was hurt, only recorded. Psychologists called it a modern narcissism, the need to control empathy rather than feel it. When prosecutors reconstructed the case, the scale stunned the court. 2 years of deception, over 100 recordings, hundreds of victims unaware their trust had become data. There was no violence in his files, only quiet manipulation. But the law saw violation all the same. In August 2025, the Nanjing Intermediate People's Court opened the hearing under limited press access. Screens replaced cameras. Transcripts replaced testimony. Prosecutors framed Zhao's acts as digital predation, the theft of consent in a networked age. Defense argued mental instability, an obsession with online identity studies. The verdict came 2 days later, guilty of invasion of privacy, fraud, and distribution of obscene materials. Sentence, 9 years in prison. Outside, reactions split. Some saw justice. Others saw proof that anonymity had finally met accountability on social feeds. One phrase trended again and again: the woman was never real. But the damage was. Zhao was led away in silence for investigators. The case closed with paperwork. For the public, it opened a new question. How many Sister Hongs still hide behind screens, waiting to be believed? The trial ended. But the story refused to vanish. Within hours of the verdict, headlines multiplied faster than the court's official transcript. Catfish of Nanjing, the man who was every woman. Clips of courtroom sketches flooded social feeds. Animations, podcasts, even reaction videos dissected every word. For millions who had never met him, Zhao became a character, half villain, half mirror. Online commentators debated whether the punishment fit the crime. Some blamed technology. Others blamed loneliness. A few whispered that Sister Hong never existed, that she was an AI ghost born from the collective imagination of bored users. Authorities deleted accounts that recycled the clips, but deletion only fed curiosity. Users re-uploaded fragments with filters and music, turning evidence into content once more in universities. Sociology classes cited the case as proof that identity in the digital age is elastic. Everyone can be anyone, one professor said. And that's the problem. The victims, meanwhile, disappeared back into ordinary life. No statements. No interviews, only silence. Their absence became another kind of story. Zhao's prison letters leaked online months later. Pages of mechanical handwriting describing regret and fascination. People wanted Sister Hong more than they wanted truth, he wrote. The letters went viral too, even now. Search engines autofill her name before his Sister Hong recipes. Sister Hong chat logs. Sister Hong truth. The mask outlived the maker. File number 03. One closes on a world still scrolling through the ghost she left behind. A reminder that in the network age, exposure is not an ending. It's a new beginning for the lie. Every file in the Forbidden's archive ends with a mirror. Not to show the criminal, but to show us Sister Hong never existed. Yet she became more real than the people who invented her. A photograph that could talk, a voice that could comfort. A lie shaped by what the audience wanted to believe. When technology learns to imitate emotion, truth becomes a matter of preference. Zhao proved that manipulation no longer needs violence, only design. He crafted a woman out of empathy, then weaponized it. The question that haunts file number 031 isn't how he deceived hundreds, but why so many needed to be deceived. Loneliness built the demand. The algorithm supplied the supply. Today, identity filters grow sharper, voices more convincing, boundaries thinner. We're surrounded by avatars promising comfort, friendship, even love, all rendered by code. The Sister Hong scandal isn't just a story about exposure. It's a map of where we're heading, a world where every confession might be a script, and every face might be someone else's experiment. The internet forgives nothing and forgets nothing, but it also never stops producing new masks. Maybe that's the warning. The next deception won't ask for money or fame, it'll ask for attention. And we'll give it freely, because attention feels like connection. The woman was never real. The trust was. File number 31. Closed. If you thought the horror ended here, you're wrong. What other dark rituals and forbidden practices are still being performed in secret? Dive deeper into the chilling world of haunted ceremonies, banned footage, and eerie folklore that refuses to stay buried. Click on the playlist to uncover terrifying recordings, lost evidence, and disturbing stories they never wanted you to see. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for weekly uploads of spine-tingling footage and dark tales that echo from the shadows. This is the Forbiddance Archive, where the hidden truth and haunting evidence come to life.